Yeah, I was just saying, it is a tale of two halves. Really proud of the way our guys came out and played. 35-3 at halftime. Really, a pretty dominant first half. Guys played well, and then in the second half, just didn't play very great. Some penalties. Some big plays. The special teams. Touchdown, and we didn't close them out like we said. We had some other guys in the game late in the game, and that kind of is what it is. But we should have really dominated in the first 5 or 6 minutes of the second half, and then allow some of our other guys to get in the game. That didn't happen, and so that's something we got to get back and work on and look to close it out. And not to make excuses for our guys, but one of the things that's real is you go up 35-3, and it's whatever time it is, 8:30, 9 o'clock on a Saturday night. The stadium's empty. There's no juice in the stadium, and so we have to do that. We have to bring our own energy, and that's a challenge for us that we've got to do. And it's something that we're going to really address this week and talk about. Coming out of that second half, we did it in the first game. I thought we did a decent job last week as well, but this week not very good. So we'll focus on that this week.
All right, we'll open up the questions with Bill Landis from The Athletic. Bill.
Ryan, how much had missed tackles been on your radar coming into this game, and what did you think of that tonight, particularly with some of the guys in your secondary?
Yeah, I thought in the first half it was pretty good. I mean, I thought we were tackling well and running the ball, and I have to look at the film and see who the culprits were, but there were some missed tackles.
All right, next up, Rob Aller from the Columbus Dispatch. Rob.
Hey, Ryan, have you ever seen as many NFL throws from Justin as you saw today? And when did you know he was a generational talent?
Pretty early on. I knew he had the potential to be. I still think he has the potential to be special. I still don't think he's there, but he's getting better every week. And when he puts the work in and he puts the time in to understand what we're trying to get done, and he practices well. But that's something that we're really going to strive for is trying to become an even better practice team in all three phases. I think the better we practice, the better we're going to play. I think when you look across college football, it was a crazy day. And one of the things that I think happened this week was we didn't practice on Tuesday across the country. And anytime you change up a routine, strange things happen. And I thought for us to come out the way we did, that was great. Just disappointed about the second half. But we got to practice better if we want to be where we need to be. If we want to be a great team, then it has to happen, especially on Tuesday and Wednesday. And so that's something again that's going to be a focus this week.
What about Justin hitting those tight windows?
I mean, down the field, as good as I've been around. I mean, he's really accurate down the field. I thought the last throw to Chris, he made that look like it was a 12-yard out, and I got to look back on film to see where it was. But that thing had gas, and it was in the hole, and it was one heck of a throw.
We'll go next to Doug Lamarice, Cleveland.com. Doug.
Ryan, you sort of touched on this, but in the second half, early on, maybe you had couple first-team guys on defense who maybe missed a few things. Later on, you had some backups in there who maybe missed a few things. How do you differentiate the evaluation of that of, hey, maybe we gave up some points with some inexperienced guys versus maybe we gave up stuff with our first-teamers?
Well, there's no excuse for anybody missing tackles, for one. But to your point, we're going to have to look at it on film and just figure out exactly what happened. But our expectation is that, when the second group gets in there, they pick it up from where the first team left off, and we pull away in the second half. That's the expectation around here. So if that's not happening, then we got to get that fixed as well. But to your point, we got to figure out exactly where all that stuff happened in the second half, and then get it fixed.
All right, we'll go next to Dan Hope from 11 Warriors. Dan.
Ryan, have you ever seen a team attempt as many trick plays as Rutgers did tonight?
No, that was especially the onside kicks. It was like a New York sidewalk. I mean, they were going back and forth, and I thought our team did a really good job of handling it. I thought we did a good job of handling the first throwback. I thought we did it. We were in a good spot on the second throwback, and we just didn't tackle them. It was just poor tackling. I thought that we did a better job with Pooch. I thought Jake came in and did a good job of getting the ball up in the air, and he looked pretty smooth kicking. And then the fake punt because we wanted to be aggressive. We knew that Greg was going to be aggressive with special teams, have some different things. We didn't quite know it was going to be all of those things, but we wanted to be aggressive as well. And I thought the fake punt really allowed us to kind of pull away in the first half.
All right, next up, Kyle Rowland from the Toledo Blade. Kyle.
Hey, Ryan, you talked earlier this week how almost just getting a game played is a victory in itself. You guys were a little sloppy tonight. Do you kind of evaluate games this season differently as well?
No, but I hear what you're saying. Yeah, I mean, sometimes I go into a game and like, okay, if we can just win this game, don't worry about what it looks like. Let's just win it. And then you get into it and you just, you're competitive. And so you want everything perfect. But like you said, with so many different things that went on this year, but that's no excuse. We're not making excuses at all. We got to figure that out. We got to get it fixed. And we got to clean up the penalties. We did have a turnover. And there's just some things that shouldn't have happened in that game. And that's where we grow. We don't have the non-conference games early on to kind of build off of that. The first time that some of these guys are in the game is right now in a conference game. And so, great learning opportunity this week. We got to get on that film, get those things fixed, and allow our team to build.
Okay, we'll go next to Bill Rabinowitz from the Columbus Dispatch. Bill.
Ryan, you know that Big Ten teams are not going to just go toe-to-toe with you. They're going to try to mix it up with deception and trick plays. I'm not sure that they're going to do it as much as Rutgers did, but how much preparation will you have to do for that, and give your assessment on how prepared and how well you handle that tonight?
The last part, I didn't hear you, bud.
Yeah. Could you give your assessment on how prepared you were for what Rutgers did?
Yeah, no, I thought we did a great job. When you think about the throwback, the first one, we got it tackled, we got it nailed down. All the onside kicks, really did a good job there, and handled it. I thought, again, the throwback got us, and we were in good position. We just didn't tackle, and then we had the fake punt. So overall, I thought we were prepared, and I thought we did a good job of it. And the idea was they were going to be aggressive. We weren't going to just be on the defensive, because that's part of the issue. Like you're saying, that teams are going to try to steal possessions. We talk about it all the time, whether it's an onside kick, a fake punt, something like that. They're always going to try to steal possessions against us, and that's part of the deal. We can't always be worried about that. We need to be aggressive. That's why we did the pop over last year. That's why we did the fake punt today, because we also have to be on the offensive. And just because other teams are trying to do that to us, we got to make sure that we have stuff in place so that we're not on our heels.
All right, next up, Austin Ward, Letterman Row. Austin.
Ryan, this sounds kind of like a question I've asked you a bunch of times before, and you always try to appreciate the win and how hard they are. But how do you feel right now about it? Because you seem unhappy about some stuff, and others you can kind of understand because of the weirdness that you described. How do you feel about this game?
Well, if you asked me at halftime, I'd feel really good. and then after the game, it's just kind of flat. Want to get on the film and figure out exactly where it all was. And I think really we just got to focus on practicing better. And I think if we practice better, we'll finish better. But hey, listen, any win, certainly like you said, any win this year, any conference win is a good win. And there's a lot of good things out there. So it's not like we're going to sit here and talk about all the bad things. That was a good conference win. We're 3-0. We're playing good football. We got a lot of good players on the team. We came out and played really, really well in the first half. But we're critical, and that's a good thing. We want perfection, and we're looking for greatness.
All right, Coach, thank you very much for your time.
Ryan,
Appreciate it.
can I jump in real quick?
Yep, of course.
Clemson just lost to Notre Dame in double overtime on a day when Penn State and Michigan also lost. You guys can only control yourself, but when stuff like that happens, what does that just tell you about what this season is like?
Yeah, it's a strange season, Doug. Like I said before, it was a strange week. There's so many things at play, and we've talked about this before, is, you spend, an enormous amount of time talking about the testing and avoiding exposing yourself to other people and the virus. And it's a different year. So, we're just going to try to do everything we can to stay healthy again this week and then go beat Maryland.